There's not much of anything that I could report on during these years from approximately 1910 to 1921 when I was born. Before me, my sister Genevieve, or Jen, was born in 1919. I believe that she was born in either Midland, Pennsylvania or Boswell, Pennsylvania. This being the case, Midland was a small community near Houston, Pennsylvania, which is near Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, and Boswell was near Somerset, Pennsylvania, which put my parents into the coal mining area in southwestern Pennsylvania. Again, I must admit that I didn't absorb any information since I wasn't born for about 2 years after Jen was born. Well, lo and behold, it finally came my turn to enter into this world. On Monday, October 31st, 1921, a child was born, probably in some sort of manger. At this time, the people who worked in the soft coal mines lived in what became known to be company houses. These little shacks housed the family while the father went to work in the mines. At the end of the pay period, part of the income was taken out to pay rent. Another portion was taken out to pay for the groceries which were purchased on credit. So now we had very little for anyone to spend. It was like slave labor. The company got the coal out, paid for the house rental, paid for the food, and not much profit was left for the miner. I compare it to the itinerant field workers on farms out west. Well, as I understand it, these conditions were unacceptable and there was a strike. During the strike, the miners were removed from their homes, food was cut off, and according to my mother, we were all living in some sort of tent in the woods. I don't know how long the strike lasted, but Mother said I was beginning to act like a wild animal. I don't know how long we stayed after that, but we somehow got back to Midland, Pennsylvania, a suburb of Canonsburg and part of Houston, Pennsylvania. This town of Houston later became the home of Bobby Vinton, a well-known singer and entertainer. Deep within the recesses of my brain, I have a memory of being out in the street of Midland. The street was a sea of mud. Lined up on the street sides, I can see what I take to be like hitching posts for tying up horses. In the middle of the street, I am there with 2 of my sisters. I am dressed in winter clothes, wearing high-top shoes, with a place for a pocket knife on the side of the boot. I don't remember anyone talking, but I do remember the long wail of a factory, or mine whistle, that marked the end of the workday. This was about all I can remember of this town of Midland. Many times in later years in Monaca, Pennsylvania, I would hear the 4 o'clock whistle of a factory, and immediately my mind would forever recall the scene I just finished describing in Midland, Pennsylvania. Up to this point, the family has 2 boys, Rudy and Albert. The girls were Josephine, Rose, Jenny and Dorothy. Now this Wankowicz family is on the move again. I now feel that my father was looking for work other than mining. So now by train we're going to Monaca, Pennsylvania from Midland, Pennsylvania. This Midland should not be confused with the Midland which is in Beaver County across the Ohio River and a couple of miles west of Monaca.